This is Kenya, home of Mount Kilimanjaro. Okay, so I made this script and then I filmed it and I edited it, and then I was going off of my mom the entire time. And it was only when I went to go look for a picture of Mount Kilimanjaro that I realized it's in Tanzania. It's not in Kenya. I just oh my god. And I'm not changing the script. Do you know how long this took me? I'm not okay. So technically this is wrong. It's on the Kenyan border. It's not in Kenya. So yeah. The Great Rift Valley, Masai Mara, and my mom. In this video, I'll be taking you with me on my trip to Kenya. First, let's start with Mombasa. Mombasa is Kenya's second largest city and a major coastal hub. Located on an island and connected to the mainland by several bridges and ferries, Mombasa is well known for its beaches, the annual Mombasa Carnival, and historic sites like Fort Jesus. Why is it called Fort Jesus? For my trip, I stayed at the Diamonds Luxury Hotel, right next to the shores of Diani Beach. Unlike a hotel you'd find in the States, the check-in area and the actual rooms are separated. Think of a campsite, where the cabins are separate from the eating area or the main lobby. After breakfast by the ocean, we explored our hotel until our first excursion. During our stay, we did several excursions, but our first one was to Kwale, then by boat to Kisset Island. Most of the time, the island looks like this, but when we got there, it looked like this. Apparently, we were 20 minutes too early, so we got there during high tide. Our other excursion was to Old Town Mombasa, the birthplace of Fort Jesus. Built by the Portuguese in the 16th century, Fort Jesus was initially made to, quote, resist cannon fire at the port of Mombasa, end quote. This is Nairobi, Kenya's largest city and capital. We didn't get to spend too much time in the city because currently Nairobi is experiencing a lot of political activity with ongoing protests and riots regarding the finance bill of 2024. Hi, I'm with my mom. So I'm going to answer the questions about the finance bill. So this is talking about the 2024-2025 finance bill, and just to make sure I'm saying everything right, I brought her here to show. So the first point I wrote down is that each year it's kind of just raising the prices, but it's gotten to the point where nothing is being done, but the prices are still going up.
That's correct. For this year, 2024 and 2025 went up a significant amount.
Yeah, it went up. They wanted to raise 2.7 billion in additional taxes to reduce the budget deficit and borrowing.
Correct.
Yeah.
However, even though the budget is going up every year and we know that there is economic growth, the taxes that are being implemented here are a little bit on the unrealistic. The tentative plan was to tax every adult child 18 and above, no matter whether they are working or not working. So, for instance, if you're a family of five and your five children are all above the age of 18, and mom and dad are the only ones that work, or you're a single mom and you're the only one that works, you're still expected with this new finance bill to pay a tax per each child that is above 18.
Oh.
Yes. So if you look at it critically, you can afford to pay tax for a child that is above 18 living in your own house because you're already taking care of them. That means how can you take care of them and still pay a tax deduction on them?
And it's kind of hard to find jobs as well because you have to know someone in the system, and so that's why people are still living with their families
Their
at
families
18.
even old into their 20s, 30s, people are still living with their parents because getting a job is on the tough part.
The other thing is that at least 50 people have died and 413 others have been injured in the protests since June 18th, according to the Kenya National Commission on Human Rights. and the political opposition is demanding that families of those killed be compensated and that charges against those arrested during protests be dropped.
Correct. That's true. Actually, I think it's more than 50 people. If you look at it, if you're on the ground, I think you remember we were there,
yeah.
where a number of people were saying how many people died in this city and this city and that city. When you look at those logistics of actual data, those numbers are higher than that.
Yeah, and then my last one, which is the one that I need you to confirm, is even though the president ended up rejecting the finance bill, the rejection only takes into effect once he goes back to Parliament and asks them to revise it.
Correct. And it actually could be still implemented because it had already been approved and was lingering in legislature for more than 21 days. So there's a chance that the same bill will be still enacted and be.
Yeah, so those are all my questions. As of now, do you know what's going on with the finance bill?
They haven't really said the truth, so it's hard to know exactly what's going on. I know that the president said that he's gonna lay off all the parliament, the ministers, and then try to re-elect the ministers. For as long as he's re-electing the same group of people who have the same mindset of corruption, there is no change to the government. So at the end of the day, you're just changing a bandage, but not really fixing the problem.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you for your input. Right now it's July 26th, so this is what's going on. This is what we know as of now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Last week they had another protest because things haven't improved. And again, a number of people are killed. Every protest, a number of people are killed, no matter what. The disclosures are not accurate. They'll tell you one thing when people on the ground will tell you something different.
Okay. Thank you, though, Mom, for giving your input.
All
right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Will I keep the rest of that in? I don't know. I'm redoing the script because I didn't like how boring I sounded. Next to the city, though, is Nairobi National Park. Wait, I just realized I'm gonna have to like blur out my face. Yeah, whatever. Established in 1946, Nairobi National Park is Kenya's oldest national park, located 7 kilometers south of Nairobi City. It's currently used to preserve the natural wildlife, such as black rhinos, giraffes, zebras, grand gazelles, whatever this is, or this, while allowing tourists and the citizens of Kenya to witness these iconic animals up close. And I was one of those tourists. Like, is that silly? And we were. The park employees were at a door at 6 a.m. sharp because the earlier you get there, the more animals you'll see or something like that. Also, context for the changes in camera quality, I'm recording on my phone, but also a mini recorder I got for $20. Well, real quick, I want to have a little conversation. Is it working? Okay. Obviously, Kenya isn't perfect. When you see a vlog that makes a country look perfect, it can seem nice in retrospect, but when you look into it, it disregards what people are going through. And the finance bill is just the tip of the iceberg. Kenya also has a history of corrupt governors, officials, and police. Whether it's officials accepting bribes that let criminals escape justice, to the government losing $999 million. And you might be wondering, well, why does this matter? I'm not from Kenya, nor am I in Kenya, so this doesn't affect me at all. Ooh, is that nice?
Nice.
That's fancy. I'll leave an end card talking about that. Ooh, I can also mention, I was in Kenya in 2022, and I have a whole Google Drive. I'll be showing those clips like here instead of my face. But I have a whole Google Drive footage worth of going in Kenya in 2022 and how it was very fun. But I used my aunt's GoPro for a lot of the footage, and she has the majority of everything. So unless I can ask for that back, I'll just show you what I have in the Google Drive. And I wanted to add that, but I think what I might do is if we go again anytime soon, like next 2025, no, more like 2026, 2028, if we go again, I'll add the 2022 stuff there, so it makes sense. There's gonna be a Kenya video every other year, I swear. Maybe a Zambia one. But yeah, this will be the end of the title card. Okay, bye bye.
Bye.